ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
New data from Pfizer making the case for booster shots 6 months after the primary doses. Why FDA scientists are skeptical of the evidence ahead of a key meeting.
Plus, Governor Gavin Newsom defeats the effort to remove him from office. A look at the push from some lawmakers to make it more difficult to challenge a sitting governor.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
All right, you are looking at a live picture from Cape Canaveral, Florida, where we are just minutes away from SpaceX launching 4 private citizens into orbit on this historic flight. If all goes to plan, the crew will blast off on the Dragon capsule 366 miles above Earth. They have been extensively trained by SpaceX, but there will be no professional astronauts on board this spacecraft. Instead, of humans, a computer will do all the flying, and there are some real risks. The team will orbit the Earth for 3 days, and there is no way to get to the International Space Station if there is an issue. The crew will splash down in Florida on Saturday. Of course, we will continue to monitor the countdown, and we will bring you the live launch as soon as it happens.
Now to the coronavirus. Proof of COVID-19 vaccination will be required at bars, nightclubs, and more in Los Angeles County. Good evening. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. That mandate for the patrons and the employees will be issued by Friday. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala joins us live from North Park, where some worry San Diego County might follow suit here in the future. Mimi.
Hi, Steve and Lindsay. Yeah, we spoke with management here at the Original 40 Brewing Company here in North Park, and they say what they worry the most about is their employees having to enforce any new rules. As small businesses are starting to bounce back during this pandemic, some worry making COVID-19 vaccinations mandatory for customers could create more frustrations.
People are never happy being told what to do, and when people are upset about things, they take it out on us.
Los Angeles County has taken several bold steps to try to prevent new surges of COVID-19, including announcing proposed updates to its health order requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccinations at indoor bars, breweries, wineries, nightclubs, and lounges. Public health officials there also strongly recommend vaccine verification at indoor restaurants, although not required. While San Diego County has not announced anything similar, Alexis Petrowski, the director of operations for the Original 40 Brewing Company and U31 in North Park, worries what this could mean for employees if the county does decide to adopt similar rules in the near future.
My staff at both places, and I think the industry as a whole, is so COVID exhausted. We already had to be the mask police. We had to be the social distancing police.
She says they followed all health and safety guidelines while doing what they could to stay afloat.
Certainly we cut shifts, we cut staff. Hiring people back is very difficult. We really can't afford to have anything else teeter us in a negative direction because we've already been through so much in this last year.
If more vaccine mandates are put into place locally, she just asks for patrons to respect those working hard to keep small businesses going.
Please don't take your frustrations out on us. We're just trying to earn a living like everyone else.
And a spokesperson for San Diego County tells me they're continuing to follow masking and gathering guidance from the California Department of Public Health right now. LA County's updated health order is expected to be issued this week. We're live in North Park. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Do not take it out on the restaurant people. That's true. They are working just like everybody else. Mimi, thank you. California now has the lowest rate of COVID transmission of any state in the country. The CDC uses a color system, much like the state did during the height of the pandemic. Now, briefly yesterday, we moved out of the worst tier, which is the red tier, into the orange tier. However, today we slipped back into the red along with the other 49 states. Experts credit California's higher vaccination rates plus indoor masking policies for lowering the spread of COVID. Cases statewide, they have gone down about 27% over the last 2 weeks.
And we're expecting a decision from the FDA this week on COVID-19 booster shots and whether more Americans who got the Pfizer vaccine will be urged to get a third dose. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth on new documents released today that suggest it's not an easy call.
The plan is for every adult to get a booster shot 8 months after you got your second shot.
President Biden has already outlined a plan to begin rolling out COVID vaccine boosters starting Monday. But if you thought boosters were a done deal, think again. Both the FDA and the CDC need to sign off and say which Americans will be authorized to get them. But regulators are still debating whether boosters are needed at all. This week, 2 high-ranking FDA officials announced plans to resign. They wrote an op-ed saying current evidence does not appear to show a need for boosting in the general population, arguing there's a better use for the doses.
When we think about the global community, we have lots of places where there's just very little vaccination going on at all, and those places are going to generate more cases and more variants.
The FDA will meet Friday to make a decision on people who got the Pfizer vaccine first. In the meantime, the agency released dozens of pages of clinical trials and other studies that it's been reviewing. Pfizer submitted data showing its vaccine becomes less effective about 6 to 8 months following the second dose, not just against infection, but in some cases against severe disease. Pfizer says some data in Israel shows after 6 months, the vaccine drops below 60% effective against severe disease in people over 65. However, a third dose restores protection to about 95%. But FDA regulators released their own analysis that was more skeptical of those claims of waning efficacy. They cited numbers showing the vaccines still provide protection against severe disease and death in the United States.
I think they will probably approve the booster, but for a specific population, and put the other population on hold while we have more data.
UC San Francisco's Dr. Peter Chin-Hong says he thinks the FDA is on track to approve boosters for people over 65 only.
I think we probably may not want to take a chance with the older population because that's the group that we were most fearful about. So even if we are going to be proactive rather than reactive in that group, I think it makes sense.
Other experts agree.
I don't actually think that we're going to have this blanket recommendation for the entire country to receive a booster dose at this point.
Dr. Christian Ramers says the UK's new booster plan may offer a blueprint. They're rolling out third doses in stages to people over 50, frontline healthcare workers, people in nursing homes, and anyone with significant underlying conditions. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
By stage separation.
All right, if you were just following that little square that was in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, what we're watching is the SpaceX launch of the 4 civilians on this crew for the Dragon spacecraft. It's just a very small dot. Occasionally they go back to the separation. That's actually the separation of the actual rocket from the spacecraft right now. That is one of SpaceX's features that they have on these rockets. This is actually going to come back down and land on a drone that is floating in the water. So now what you have here is the 4 civilians on this spacecraft with the Dragon spacecraft and currently a booster rocket right now. This crew, again, as we mentioned, there's no professional astronauts on this. It is all civilians. It was paid for by a billionaire. He is on this flight. His name is Jared Isaacman. He's joined by Haley Arsenault, who works for St. Jude Children's Hospital. She's a cancer survivor. She's going to be the youngest female ever to fly into space at 29 years of age. She's also joined by a physician's assistant from St. Jude, Sion Proctor. She's a geoscientist, and Chris Zimbrowski, a data engineer. Again, there are no professional astronauts on this. They're going to fly around the Earth about 366 miles above the Earth for 3 days and then come back down after day 3, landing in the water off the coast of Florida. So this is an historic flight. We're going to continue to follow this throughout this newscast as well. All right, in the meantime, an East County couple is finally headed home after getting out of Afghanistan. Congressman Darrell Iss's office says their granddaughter asked for help. Now, the couple tried multiple times to get to the airport, but they were blocked by Taliban checkpoints. Today, arrangements were finally made to get them safely out. ISIS says 33 people from his district have been evacuated from Afghanistan.
Now to Governor Gavin Newsom defeating the effort to remove him from office. Final votes are still being counted, but the current tally shows voters rejecting the recall, 64 to 36%. Results will be officially certified by October 22nd. And unlike back in 2003, this year's attempt was unsuccessful. State lawmakers and voters are already asking questions about the process and if it needs to be changed. We're going in depth to find out what recall reform could look like. With the recall election now behind us, some are asking questions about the process itself.
A lot of people are asking, does this fit the original intent of the progressive reformers who wanted to clean up California government, keep corruption out, and give power to the people? Does it fulfill its promise?
Back in July, a poll from the Public Policy Institute of California showed that 2 in 3 California likely voters say that the recall election process is in need of major or minor changes. Reforming the recall is exactly what 2 California state lawmakers are already talking about.
I believe it is time to reevaluate and update California's recall process.
State Senator Stephen Glazer, chairman of the Senate Election Committee, along with Assemblymember Mark Berman, chairman of the Assembly Election Committee, are planning to hold a series of bipartisan joint hearings in the coming months to start a discussion about potential changes to California's recall laws.
I think a majority of Californians are very frustrated that we just spent $276 million on this process, on this recall election.
At this point, there's a lot of different ideas about what recall reform could look like. One being a higher number of signatures to qualify for the ballot. Right now, it's 12% of the total votes cast in the previous election for governor.
That's about half the size of what it is in every other state, right? Where we see 25, 30, sometimes even as much as 40% of the vote. And the idea there is let's save the recall for when you really have a broad coalition of voters who want to throw out the governor or another leader.
There's also talk of limiting a recall to unethical or illegal activity.
Another idea is to have it more narrowly targeted on things like corruption or criminal concerns. Right now, the Constitution just says the recall is the power of the people to remove an office holder from office. It doesn't specify what it's about.
And yet another idea would be to turn power over to the lieutenant governor in the event of a recall. But before anything happens, first, the state legislature would have to pass the proposed amendment with 2/3 support in each house. Then the amendment would appear on a statewide ballot and need a simple majority to become law.
I don't think anything's off the table, but at the end of the day, any substantive reform is going to have to be approved by California voters.
Now, at this point, the idea behind Glazer and Berman's hearings is to come up with a proposal that would be considered during the 2022 legislative session. Now, as for the GOP, we did reach out for comment, but they did not have one.
And a close call from a brush fire this afternoon in Barrio Logan from Sky 10. You could see how close those flames were to scaffolding a business there at Bryant and Main Street. From the ground, our ABC 10 News breaking news tracker saw that fire burning right next to structures. Fortunately, firefighters were able to stop those flames from getting into the business. There will be an investigation, but the firefighters do believe this started at a homeless camp. A kayaker discovered a body in Mission Bay, and now investigators are looking into what led to the man's death. Police got several calls from people who saw the body near Ski Beach around 11 o'clock this morning. Investigators say the man is about 60 years old. We talked to a kayaker who made the disturbing discovery.
I saw the area as I paddled up, and it's several minutes getting there, so I knew there was no one splashing around. So he'd been in the water a while, so I wasn't going to check the pulse or even.
Investigators are looking for any possible witnesses for more information. And CHP is investigating the death after a body was found on the 805 on-ramp near 3rd Street this morning. It was reported around 1 o'clock. The person has not been identified and the cause of death is still unknown.